Wow, Davey, driving this fish truck is the best job we've ever had.
And we get to spread lots of summertime joy to all the children on Earth. But my personal favorite, you should really taste the gourmet.
Yeah, but best of all, we get to work for the greatest genius, Reverend Jake Fish, famed founder of the Rare Fish Burger. Speaking of which, it's time to ready the bell.
Okay, Ralph.
Just look at all the happy harmonies. Hey, Davey, looks like we better see what the Reverend's up to.
Right away, Ralph. Mr. Fish, sir? The children are ready for the show.
Very well, then.
All right, gather around, my children, for I shall preach the benefits of sea creatures. Now, back before time began, mermaids lived in harmony with their pet whales.
They were, of course, one big happy family.
Hey, hello there, Mr. Whale. How are you today?
Insert whale noises, Ralph.
But this blissful bonding wouldn't last long, for soon the orca would show its true colors. In reality, this once trusted big blubbered fish turned out to be the Great White Atlantic Shark-Toothed Shark.
And soon roams of angry orcas terrorized the ocean floors, and then the murderous orcas turned against man. It was them or us. The evil orcas would stop at nothing.
Go back to New Zealand, you lazy hooligans!
And behold, there stands the big blubbery sea creature now. Begone, foul beast, and never cross my path again!
All right, so who would like some summertime treats?
Yes, my children. Celebrate your own victory over the evil orcas.
And remember, visit your local food pantry.
Wow, look at all this money, Davey. I gotta say, the children gave generously today.
Yeah, Ralph. The master would be pleased.
Hey, speaking of which, he must be almost finished by now. Better go check.
Is there anything else we can incorporate, sir?
I need more lemon lime juice. Paste me, please.
That's not how you do it.
Give it here.
Well, what do you know about that?
It's time.
Now we can begin the initiation. Duck bringeth the salmon.
We are gathered here today to pay homage to salmon. I'm talking about, of course, grilled and fried.
Now sing along with me, men. This is perfectly good fish meat. I'm sure you want to waste it like that.
Daddy, I love you.
Fellas, I had a vision. My father sent out to get me. He stated, "It's time for me to learn to drive."
he comes. Here comes the fish wagon. Oh, nuts.
Reverend, I think we just drove right past those kids.
So I have. Just keep driving, fellas. And don't stop.
Holy carrot sticks! We'll all be killed!
Davey, I've been driving forever. The summer food's gone bad. We haven't put on a single show in months. Well, at least the Reverend knows what he's doing. I mean, it's not like he's committing an actual crime or anything, right?
Gripes! It's the Mystery Inc. duo!
Is there a problem, officer?
Well, word on the street is that there's a crazed man with a big green nose collecting unofficially licensed sea creatures from the ocean. Exactly. Not to mention that carrying the gas pump around isn't a pretty sight. Now, please step aside and let me see what's going on in the back of the truck. Oh, jinkies! Right. As member of Mystery Inc., I ask that you hand over your fish confectioner's license.
You'll never take me alive, meddling kids.
I'll be back! You'll beg me! Why, hello there, Mr. Whale. How are you today?
Insert whale noises, Ralph.
Why, the little ones are cuter than ever.
Go back to New Zealand, you hooligans!
It was a beautiful blue day on the island of Sodor, but poor Duck the Great Western Engine was feeling particularly glum. His whistle was under repair after his driver had used it to boil eggs for their supper.
All right, we'll get some cleaners to fix your whistle. Just don't worry about it, Duck.
Suddenly, Thomas the Tank Engine chuffed in for a visit. Hello, Duck. What's up, mate? Oh, Thomas, it's you. Hello. Well, you see, I was looking forward to getting back to work. Unfortunately, I have to get my whistle fixed first. For now, it can only make burgling noises. The kind of noises that you would associate with gross out, and I personally don't recommend it. You see what I mean?
You make a fair point, lad. Well, believe it or not, I once had a wonky whistle like that, back in 1947, back when my French line was new, and even before I met Percy.
I don't get it.
Well, while you get your whistle fixed, why don't I just explain the whole story anyway?
And this was the story Thomas told. One morning, Thomas was dozing at the sheds. It was early morning, and a fitter arrived on the scene and was inspecting him all over before the day's work. At last, he climbed onto the tanks and shook his head no. He then proceeded to climb back down and walked away after a large notice was put in place, reading in bold letters, "Not to be moved." When his driver and fireman had arrived, Thomas could only say,
Come on, we ought to get going. I'm going to be late.
Don't you know that market day has come to my branch line? Plus, I have to take some sheep to the market grounds.
Now, simmer down, Thomas. We can't. The notice says you have to stay here, but we don't know why.
Nonsense. There's nothing wrong with me. Somebody must have left it there by mistake. I cannot wait here all day. So with no choice given, the driver took a closer look all across the little blue tank engine, but couldn't find the problem.
Very well, off we go now. But remember, you metaphorically twisted my arm.
At a nearby station, Thomas was waiting anxiously for some sheep to be loaded into his cattle trucks. He had to let off steam as the final sheep was loaded.
Simmer down, old fellow, said his driver. There's plenty of time. We have to be very careful not to disturb the sheep.
At last, the signal dropped to green, and before anyone could check to see if the doors were shut, Thomas insisted that they would get to market on time, and he went off in a fuss. "Hurry along! Hurry, hurry, hurry!" puffed Thomas. He was once again pretending to be like Gordon. Soon enough, Thomas was rattling up the line and into the tunnel. He had to whistle there. However, today something odd happened. Whistling fireboxes! Something's funny about my whistle. Well, we can't stop to fix it now. The Fat Controller's relying on me to be on time. Naturally, Birdie the bus was there when Thomas reached the next station. "Why, would you just look at this, Birdie?" he boasted. "I'm taking the prized sheep to market. I'll bet you're not doing that." "Oops, that's the conductor's whistle. Got to run. Really useful engines can't wait around, you know." Before Birdie could have a chance to speak, Thomas whistled and went on his way. Only this time it was shrill, like a farmer's whistle. The sheep in the van were confused, and considering that the door wasn't shut right, some of them barged through and onto the platform. Wait a minute, Thomas! Stop! Halt! Stop! Unfortunately, Birdie was too late. Thomas was already whistling away into the background. Thomas didn't stop once again until he reached a red signal close to the market. Some people were waiting on the bridge nearby. "I sure hope you're all coming to see me at the market. Don't be late. I certainly won't be." And Thomas chuffed away before the signal even dropped to green. He had no idea, though he was whistling, that some more sheep had scrambled out of the trucks. At last, Thomas bustled cheerily into the market grounds, in which the guard stepped down to check the sheep. The little blue tank engine couldn't have felt more proud. "It's no wonder why the Fat Controller has given me this branch line," he thought to himself. "He thinks I'm reliable." His pride was short-lived, however, when the guard checked inside one of the cattle trucks. Oh my gracious!" he shouted. "What happened to all the sheep? The door's wide open, too." "Botheration," sighed Thomas. "The day started off so well, too." And he had to let out a sad peep peep on his whistle, causing the last sheep to flee from the scene. "Ah, there's your answer, Thomas," said the driver. "The sheep think that you're blowing a farmer's whistle. You shouldn't have been so impatient to leave this morning. All right, come on, buddy. Let's get your whistle fixed, and then we'll have to get back down the line and herd the sheep." As soon as Thomas's whistle was fixed, around the corner, the people from earlier had herded the sheep back into their pen, while Thomas returned to the station to pick up the rest. Only this time, he waited patiently for the door to be fastened properly. Henry the Green Engine smiled and said, "That's That's a good engine. You cannot run a railway with the sheep running about. They might get hurt. Make sure you're not so careless in the future. Thomas sadly agreed as Henry chuffed away. Soon enough, he was ready to head back to the market grounds, making sure not to rush or bump the trucks about.
So you see, Doc, if there's one thing I've learned personally is that patience is a virtue, and we shouldn't jump the gun too soon, otherwise we might be able to leave something behind. And on a side note too, how's your new whistle turning out?
Let's just check that theory. Hey, it works! It really works! Hey, thank you for keeping me company, Thomas.
No problem, Doc. That's exactly what close friends are for.
You got that right. Now then, slip coaches, here I come. And so, with a last cheerful greeting, the two friends went back to work. Gee willikers, Eleanor. In all my years of joining the Space Academy, I've never seen such an intergalactic war this horrific before.
We gotta do something to save these humans, Wendell. We do want to keep the human population alive, don't we?
You know, I think you might be right, whatever the cost.
Hey, you're so...
Well, you know,
Oh, my. Oh, thank goodness. For a second there, I thought it was the fuzz. So, let me get this straight. Your name is Suzette, right?
And your name is Heba.
And we're both human princesses with helium powers?
And both of us were running away from an evil emperor desperate to take over the galaxy?
You know, I never thought I would see the day like this.
Indeed. This could be the beginning of a common friendship. Two unlikely defenders against one evil emperor. So what do you say, Heba? Are you with me?
Indeed. I'd be much happier to be required with teamwork.
Yes. At last, we've caught you red-handed. No use attempting to escape now. Your new master wishes to speak with you.
Good work, gentlemen. I wanted those ladies taken alive.
On what grounds, sir? You do realize that with two princesses on each side, we'll be able to create a bonding to defeat your minions one by one.
Don't fool yourself. Now that you and your new friend have been caught single-handedly, you may just be claimed as my new servants. Then you will see as to why they call me the best king of the galaxy.
Oh no! Just what do you think we're gonna do, Eleanor? Oh God, what'll we do?
Oh my God!
Now that's what I'd call a comet shower.
Willikers! That was amazing out there, ladies. Now that's what I like to call excellent teamwork. Oh, by the way, I'm surprised we haven't met yet. My name's Wendell, and here's Eleanor. We were just wondering if you would like to live with us. Perhaps we can all be polite and present to you a nice Professor's Lair welcome.
If that is his choice, then so be it.
much like Duck, Oliver is a Great Western tank engine. With the help of his trusty brake van Toad, he has found his title as a really useful co-worker on Duck's branch line, though sometimes his resource and sagacity can go into his smoke box and make him conceited. At one point, he was tangled in a confrontation with some troublesome trucks, causing the Great Western engine to plummet bunker first into the turntable well. But at the end of the day, we all know that Oliver can get himself back up again with the help of teamwork, and this was one of those stories. One day, Oliver had just arrived at a nearby station to pick up some passengers when he noticed that some ladies were visibly upset. Pardon me, ladies, but what seems to be the problem?
It turns out that our old dance studio has closed down and is set for demolition in 3 days. The state officer said it's too old and dusty for us to practice for the recital. Why, it would take a miracle to give our old studio a new makeover at a cost of £20. Please help us, Oliver. You're our only saving grace.
I'll see what I can do, Oliver said kindly.
Gee, Mr. Oliver, I sure hope that things weren't quite as bad as the ladies made it out to be.
I know what you mean, Toad, but times change as we progress. Hello? What's this here? I don't believe this. As Oliver and Toad passed by an old-fashioned dance studio, they noticed a large notice that was put in place, reading in bold letters, "Danger, set to be demolished in 3 days." Seems that those ladies were right after all. All right, come on, Toad. Let's get these passengers back to Knapford, and then we'll have to meet up with the other engines back at the sheds. As soon as the news was confirmed, the Scottish twins, Donald and Douglas, were speechless. Oh my, closed down and demolished in 3 days. It's a shame, really. I honestly don't blame you, Donny. I mean, how can you practice dancing for opening night if you cannot have a studio to perform the right moves? Honestly, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, quickly, Oliver, how much does it cost? Well, £20. £20, not bad.
Indeed, and worst case scenario, we'll just have to think of a plan as quickly as possible.
All 5 agree that something must be done, but none knew what. Until Oliver said, "Now quickly, Duck, without thinking, if you were to have anything in the world right now, what do you think it would be?" More time for thinking? No, I mean like an item, like something you typically pay for. A carton full of lemons? Hey, I like what you're thinking there. Well done, Duck. That's using the old noodle. After a few decisions were made via phone call, the fat controller couldn't help but agree. Why, certainly, he smiled, and in a few moments, he added, "It shall be spick and span by the time you make the dough." At Farmer McColl's, the workers were waiting by the platform, and as soon as Oliver and Duck were coupled up, they began to fill their trucks with fresh yellow lemons. The deliveries were ready to go. Come along, you lot," Oliver said to the trucks. And the trucks answered, "Trickety-trock, trickety-trock, all right, all right." "That is better, that's better," said Oliver. At the first station, Oliver and his crew met a smartly dressed man waiting for Thomas's train. "Good afternoon, sir," smiled Oliver. "Could we interest you in a crate full of lemons?" "Ah, so we got ourselves a fruit salesman on wheels, huh?" "Well, not exactly, but you get the idea." "Well, I'm completely sold. Well, seeing as how I can take these little numbers home with me, how does $10 sound?" "Well, it seems like this campaign is just getting started," Oliver thought to himself. Soon enough, things were sailing rather smoothly for the two engines. As soon as more deliveries were made, they're each rewarded with a single bill. Tunnels and stations flashed by, and even signal lights showed green as they passed. The journey went on and on until it was naturally time for a breather. Later that day, Duck and Oliver's crew were sitting on a table enjoying their meals while the two engines were parked in some empty sidings, calculating how much would be added up to, adjusted for inflation in 1974. I don't think that's enough money to save the dance studio. Duck, it looks like we're going to need some heavy artillery, a new concept.
I think you're right, lad. I got it. What if we convince Mr. Bubbles to be hosting a hurdy-gurdy production at the country fair? Nah, let's just save that for when it's summer, Duck. There must be something to the selling gimmick that neither of us are getting at. I mean, what was the reason that we purchased a train full of lemons? Other markets on Sodor have distributed huge successors. I mean, look at that! Oh, what's this? Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Factory presents the new and improved Jolly Chocolate Bar with or without almonds. Indeed, and yet they've made lower prices a day.
Excuse me, Mr. Duck. Excuse me, Mr. Oliver. I do have a suggestion. Seeing as how next month will be a scorcher, why not take the train full of lemons over to the lemonade factory? I hear tell that the workers were running fresh out.
At first, Duck was very skeptical of the idea until he said, "You know, that's actually a solid idea, Toad." "It is? Of course. I mean, what's the point of cooling off during a hot summer's day if you cannot have a nice and cold refreshment?" Oh, you know what? Why didn't we think of this idea beforehand? Come on, Duck. What do you say we get back to work? So Oliver and Duck didn't stop until they arrived safely at the lemonade factory. The workers were very pleased to see them. One by one, they began to unload the crates full of lemons from the trucks, and a few moments later, they had changed into lemonade beverages like magic. The workers reloaded them back onto the trucks, and Oliver and Duck's journey began once more. At Knapford Station, lots of people were waiting at the platform just before Gordon could arrive with the express when suddenly they heard a growing whistle sound. Arriving at the station were Oliver and Duck with their deliveries. Their drivers scrambled out of the cab immediately and proudly presented the refreshments. "That's right," they would say. "Come and get your ice-cold lemonade, only $5. No need to pout, everybody gets one." The passengers all swarmed around like happy bees as they held up their $5 bills, and it wasn't long before Gordon arrived with the express. He was surprised to see his passengers with hands full of ice-cold beverages as they climbed aboard. The next day, Oliver and Duck's drivers and firemen had enough money to help the ladies purchase the now-mended dance studio. It was as good as new. The state officer was most surprised.
Goodness gracious. I didn't think you'd go through all this trouble to make that much money just so you can help the ladies purchase an entire building like this one before.
"Well, teamwork is our destiny," said Oliver. "What can I say?"
"Well, in that case," said the state officer, "ladies, it looks like the dance studio is all yours once again."
As soon as the last sentence was spoken, the ladies were very excited. They each offered Toad, Duck, and Oliver some tickets as a way of saying thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow night.
And they were right. The night of the recital was quite a success.
What do you know? Whispered Duck to Oliver. Sure were really useful engines yesterday, weren't we? Quite right, Duck. It just goes to show you how a special delivery can save another corporation. At last, the performance came to a close, resulting in a delightful chorus of cheers and whistles, to the point where even Donald and Douglas were impressed. Good job, lad. And even Oliver had to smile.